Good day, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino RHino Beer Review. We have the Rhino, and we're looking at a beer that I've actually been sitting on for quite some time. Quite some time, actually. This is, and I've had this beer almost every year. I didn't buy one yet this year. I haven't seen one yet this year, and I don't even know if I'm going to buy one yet this year. But I'm pretty sure that this beer in particular was sent to me by Guy. Again, I don't normally hold on to beers that have been sent to me. I normally get on them right away. And I can't remember if I bought this or Guy did. I'm pretty sure Guy sent this to me, because I don't remember seeing this in my LCBOs last year. This is the St-Ambroise Imperial Stout of 2013. I'm just trying to see... Stout Extra Forte. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, I wasn't sure because sometimes they don't barrel age them, so I was looking to see if this Imperial Stout was barrel aged, and yeah, this is bourbon barrel aged, the 2013 edition, 9.2% alcohol, or 9,2 as the Frenchies do it, but 9,2% alcohol. Stout Extra Forte, extra strong. Again, I did not end up having a 2013. I had a 2011. I had a 2012, and I think both of those I had the regular and the barrel aged versions. This will be the only one I have, and again, I'm almost 100% that Guy sent this to me. And again, don't take it as an insult, guys. I don't normally forget who it was, and I don't normally hold on to things. At the time I got this was at the time that my shifts had changed. I had gone on to a different shift and people stopped coming over, and I just wasn't able to jump onto a 9.2% alcohol beer. And then by the time I was able to, I'm like, you know what, I've sat on it for this long, I might as well wait until it would have hit a year. So I let it hit a year. And wow, look at that. Wow! Look at that. Visual appeal 100%. Look at that head. Look at that beer. Visually, this is the type of stout I want to see. That's a nice thick head. That's a deep brown head on top of a full-on black beer. It's a beautiful, beautiful look. Creamy head. Look at it. Oh, just a tiny little snap crackle pop in there. It is a wonderfully looking beer. Wonderful looking beer. Smell. Now these are my favorite tasting glasses, but usually before I do the sniff I like to only fill them to about here. I got a little overzealous, not getting much out of the glass, and I wouldn't be because this glass is basically one of the straight ups. But when you have it down here, you can roll it and then you have this entire neck of the glass to sniff out of, which is what I've been doing most of the night, just doing like a fill just to the end of the bowl, and then my sniff, and then I fill it up for the taste. And I should have done that this time, but the look, as I was pouring it, that look was just to die for, and I couldn't stop. So we're going to have to get it all out of the bottle, or... Actually... The bottle's pretty muted. I'm curious if... this wasn't barrel aged as long as other... I don't think it was. I think some of... I'm going to have to look it up. I think some of the other years were like 10% alcohol, which would mean they pulled more out of the barrels. Maybe these barrels were reused. Maybe these barrels were washed longer. Maybe the beer didn't sit in the barrels as long. Maybe I'm just on crack and they've always been 9.2. Actually, I think I have a... Well, I'll have to check afterwards. But I'm pretty sure I have a container up there from one of the previous years. Actually, you know what? You guys get to sit here because I'm waiting for this head to go down. You get to sit here and listen to me sing while I go and check. Rudolph the red-nosed reindeer had a very shiny nose, and if you ever saw it, you would even say it glows. All of the other reindeer, fuck, I threw it out, used to laugh and call him names. They never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer games. Then one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa came to say, St-Ambroise, with your beer so dark, won't you let me drink it now? And guys, this is the one bad thing about cellaring. Sometimes beer doesn't turn out as well as we hoped. Sometimes, like in this case, it's starting to go sour. Yeah, I'm actually very sad right now. Very sad I didn't get to this beer right away, because I normally love the St-Ambroise bourbon barrel aged Imperial Stouts. I'm very sad I didn't get to it right away. Is it a bad beer? No, it's not a bad beer. It still has a lot of its character, but it does have an underlying sour tone, so it is starting to turn. I don't think it would have lasted much longer, so I'm kind of glad I got to it now. Excuse me, I burped. Okay, so here's what you're getting. Well, here's what I'm getting on this year-old bottle. I'm getting a deep, dark background of dark chocolate, roasted coffee, and oak tannins. And it turns into a bitter woodiness. I mean, you get all those, and then you get the roastiness and the oak tannins and nothing else. It's like they rimmed the barrel really well before they did it, and that's fine. Forefront, I get a nice chocolate flavor, I get a nice vanilla flavor, and then that touch of sour. In all honesty, it's a sad response to what the beer could have been. I mean, what I'm tasting and what I can imagine the beer to be, this pales in comparison. I'm going to have to give it a bad mark, and I don't want to. And you know what? I'm not even going to give it a mark. Here's what I'm going to say. We all liked sitting on beers. Wood-aged beers do have an unfortunate period, just like wine has an unfortunate period. This could be in its unfortunate period. But what I can tell you from this beer, from knowing what these beers taste like fresh, not this one in particular because I never had a 2013 fresh, but knowing what they taste like fresh, I would drink these fresh. I know we all love buying beers to cellar because it's going to make them so much nicer. It doesn't always make it nicer. We actually discussed this offline because of all the problems I had this week. I got home on Wednesday night and I needed to drink. So I went out to the garage and we got on Google Plus, and me and a few other beer drinkers drank. And one of the questions that was posed, and I hope we pose it in an actual Beer Dweebs United, was, what's the percentage of times that cellaring a beer has made it better for you than when it was fresh? And this is one of those beers that proves that it's not always best to cellar because you never know what you're going to get. There was probably some wild yeast in one of those barrels, or wild bacteria in one of those barrels, that survived the alcohol environment because something's happening to it that's turning it. So with what's turning it, it's either the ingredients or something that was wild that they didn't account for. Fresh, it would have tasted great, probably. Aged, it's turned a little sour. Will that mean every beer turned sour in this batch? Not necessarily. I mean, if it was wild in just that barrel, just the beers that were bottled out of that barrel would do this if you aged them. So how many of these type of bottles survived that are going to be drank after a year that are going to start turning sour? I don't know. How many of them survived that are going to be drank next year? And maybe they're not sour anymore because maybe it's just part of the unfortunate period and they actually taste great again? I don't know. I can only assume. I know that makes an ass of me and you, but I can only assume what's causing this problem because I don't have it under a microscope right now. I haven't broken it down. I don't know how everything was done. I can just use my noggin, my teachings, and my just my knowledge and my teachings, my personal knowledge and my teachings to make a decision on it. And my decision is that this beer should have been drank fresh. I'm apologizing to everybody that I drank it old. I wish I hadn't. I'm going to probably drink the rest of this while I watch the very last episode of the original Battlestar Galactica, and hopefully I get through it, and if I don't, I'll drain pour it and feel bad. So no out of 10 on this. What I'll say is it's still drinkable. It is still drinkable, it's just very disappointing. And I'm not giving it an out of 10 on this because it's probably my fault that it happened. It's not that it was actually cellared. This has been in the fridge the whole time. So it had no chance of turning because of heat exposure or anything like that. It's just a sad, sad day for me. I don't normally have this happen, especially with Imperial Stouts. This is why I don't like to age all that much. The only things I age are things I'm holding for my friends. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful night. St-Ambroise 2013 Imperial Stout Bourbon Barrel Age. Bye.